Hey, and welcome to Lemon Drops, brought to you by the Smokeylemon crew. Well, we're talking branding, marketing, and everything in between. So grab a coffee, sit back, and let's drop in. Our very first podcast episode has to, of course, be with the big cheese, the big kahuna, owner of Smokeylemon, Ms. Mandy McGregor.
Talk me out.
Woo! So we're going to talk you out, girl.
Very true. Thanks, Anna.
Yeah, we've got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's cool to be delving into the world of podcasts.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just another thing to try and put yourself in the most uncomfortable position that you can. Why not?
Mandy said this is like up there with like one of the worst.
Yeah.
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 Obviously, I've built a career doing this, so it's a bit different.
I
Yeah.
don't know how you do it.
Stop it. But going forward, like we could do podcasts with clients and things.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I think that, if I want to get really technical, which I won't, but, people just want to watch short form video and stuff and get the information they need. And so podcasts are really good for that. And I think some people are more naturally into just talk rather than type or, and it gives a personal flavour.
It does.
So.
Which is exactly what today's one's all about.
That's right.
Oh, we're going to learn a little bit more about mans. So let's start with the name Smokeylemon. Now, first of all, you've got some rules around the name.
Yes, it's one word. It is not two words, okay? Not two words.
And not a capital L.
It does not have a capital L in the middle. It is Smokeylemon, just like this.
Okay, so how is Smokeylemon, how was the name born?
Okay, so back in 2001, I was in the UK and was at uni with my friends Scott and John, and we were trying to create this company name just for a bit of a laugh because, I did okay at the web design part of the uni. It was like, oh, I can do that. Let's have a great. Let's just start a business doing that. And we're at the pub. Back in those days, you could smoke in the pub. You could, you could do anything in the pub. But you could. And my mate Scott would smoke, and I would always buy a rum and coke, and they always had a lemon in the rum and coke. And so we were throwing words around and so on, and the drunker we got, obviously. And Scott would always get annoyed with me for putting the lemon into the ashtray.
This makes a cigarette, guys.
And so somehow, by the end of the night, we come up with Smokeylemon, and there it was. And when something sort of fits, you just know. So
Stuck.
and that was it. It was all over from there.
Have you ever thought of changing it?
No.
Because it's that rebranding, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have to all over again.
Yeah. And mostly people think, or they kind of think or remember one part of it. So it's that smoky company or that lemon company or something. Not to be confused with hairy lemon is self-owned.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and some people think we're a cafe, and I'm good with that because coffee's good.
Well, we like coffee. In fact, Mandy's had a coffee just to get through this podcast. Yeah. Okay, so starting an agency in New Plymouth 20 years ago, be honest,
Yeah.
did it feel like a bold move?
It did. I'd just come back from the UK, so I was kind of in my shell and hiding away here, and Scott came over as well. There was probably only two other agencies around that did web design, and it was pretty much unknown. We were in dial-up back then, and the old fax machine.
Yes.
So a fax had come through and the internet had cut out.
Yes. Or I need to make a phone call, get off the internet.
Off the internet. My goodness, that was fun.
Yeah.
So it was pretty interesting to do it in that time. I was fortunate enough that I had family members. My parents had businesses, so I got let loose on their stuff. So the fallout wasn't as bad, I guess, if it wasn't right. So so cut our teeth on those.
Yeah.
And
Must have been okay because it's still going.
Absolutely.
What stayed the same about Smokeylemon and what's completely transformed over this period of over 20 years?
Good question, Anna.
You?
What has I've gotten older.
Yes, we all.
Yes.
Yeah.
What has stayed the same? Probably the determination to create something that is unique or gives the best value for people. Doing a good job, but that doesn't change. Like we quite often bend over backwards 90 120% higher.
I'd say something based on my experience.
But want to do a good job.
Yeah.
The willingness to try and do something different, podcasts, getting out of our comfort zone.
That's right.
We have in the past and probably still will go, yes, we can do that.
Yeah.
And then come out of a meeting and go, right, how the hell are we going to do that? So,
but you always find your way through, right?
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Well, with the team that we've got, it's just when you've got good people around you and you trust that they can do that sort of stuff and they get to, stretch their own boundaries. Just believing in the team.
Because you started with web design, but now we're an entire marketing agency.
That's true. So that's what's changed.
Yes. I've got you.
The changes are doing graphic design, a full creative agency. We do marketing, everything, anything illegal, obviously.
No.
Note to self. So we have evolved in that space, and quite often people come to us because they can get everything in one place, and that just makes it a little bit easier. You don't have to explain your whole marketing or your vision or anything to 3 different companies, and then they don't talk to each other, and then it becomes a bit of a nightmare to try and manage as you grow.
So it's that one-stop shop.
Pretty much.
And I think what's great about a marketing agency is a lot of the advertising we create for clients is online, so it's so much more measurable.
Yes, absolutely. If you can measure it, then you've got movement. So, and if you're not paying attention to the measurements, then you're not winning. So it's an interesting, and it's evolved. Like we back in the dial-up days, we didn't have to worry about mobile phones or anything.
True. How things would
how they'd look on the phones or TV or whatever, digital TV. I don't think it was even around for back then.
No, definitely was. You had to change the channels, didn't you?
No, we had remotes back then.
Did you? Was it black and white when you started? Nah.
So everything has evolved in that space, and keeping up with that technology and being across it and ahead of that constantly is massive.
Will you literally get up at 4 a.m. to listen to seminars from overseas to keep up with the whole play?
Yeah, absolutely. Because if you get left behind, there's a long way to come back.
True. Yeah. All right. Well, so for anyone that's dreaming of starting their own creative business, what's one thing you wish someone had told you back then?
Don't do it. Do not do it. Just don't. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a roller coaster. But then, most businesses are, because the economic times, ebb and flow. So it is always a nightmare, or it's fun.
You're a woman that is to the beat of her own drum. Would you have listened if they said don't do it?
I probably would have been more determined.
Exactly.
Yeah. I can make this work.
Yeah. You watch me.
Let's see how this goes.
So I guess this question's kind of touches on what we already spoke about, but how has the marketing world evolved since you began, and how have we at Smokeylemon adapted to stay relevant?
We have, it's evolved in the sense that there is so many more platforms and so on that you need to use to reach people, right? And finding the right platform for your audience and getting into the measurement of that is quite critical, whereas before it wasn't. So we have people on the team analysing the data all the time, making tweaks constantly, sitting back and actually reviewing stuff and not just letting it run. And always having to try new things to see, because again, like I said before about the short form videos and stuff. So how does that work? You've probably got 8 seconds before anyone's lost interest.
Yeah. So what do you do in those 8 seconds?
Exactly. And how do you come up with a creative for that?
Yeah.
So those are the things that have where you've got a really good team around you. You can pull all those things together, and there's just some pretty amazing ideas throughout. Yeah.
And we've got pretty much all the departments covered too, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't have a cafe though.
No, and yes, deny. Yeah. Although I did learn how to use coffee machines. Yes. What do you think sets Smokeylemon apart from other agencies? What's our secret sauce?
We are unapologetically creative.
Boom, chakalaka, we are.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
What does it mean? It means that if we think it's a good idea and you can manage the risk around it,
No offense.
and then we'll go for it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't. We just kind of keep going and pushing through and
Evolving.
evolving.
Yeah.
And so if you sit back and just take your foot off the pedal,
Yeah.
it's a lot to climb back, as I said, to come back into it. So keeping up to date all the time is really key.
Because you're always like, I mean, you are unapologetically creative. I feel like that's like you encapsulate that. But like things like, you'll come up with idea once you came up with online a scratch and sniff type
Yeah.
idea. Yeah. So you scratch it with your finger.
Yeah, and just trying stuff, like we did an April Fool's Day thing called a Tasty Pixel, and we put it out there that, you can now taste, and people actually lick their screens. That's wow. That's how cool it was. So there's all sorts of just, I mean, you seeing me yesterday, I probably was sleep deprived or not, and came in, and my mind was just like
Off-fight.
and it's just throwing things around, and then bouncing everything with the team, and the team coming in and bouncing, like you're bringing ideas to the table. Amazing is you've come from this background, the radio, and so we didn't think of that. Yeah, it's a really good point,
And that's adding to your artillery.
It is
with all the people you bring in.
Yes,
yeah.
We're well rounded.
Yes, we are well rounded as we get older.
So yeah.
Being a woman in business for over 2 decades. What advice would you give to women who are aspiring to start their own business?
Again, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Just say it.
Did you feel like there was a gender inequality when you started? There would have seen, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. It was really hard. There were a lot of businesses that wouldn't even give us the second look unless I put a male in front of them.
That's right.
So yeah, and a few other things, people would just go, I'm not going anywhere near it. And that's just the way it was. So
we kind of do we want those people anyway?
No, that's
her.
You just work to stick to your values, stick to what you're doing, and if you do a good enough job, then people will come and they go, and some people come back. So it's not you can't be everything to everyone. And if you, again, like say, stick to what you are good at and stick to your values and what you believe in and stuff, then that's all you can do.
Unapologetically creative and unapologetically ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you feel like there's that equality of the gender gap has been bridged now, like 20 plus years on?
Yes, I think if I look back now, like there's more females, I think, in higher roles in business now, and so they are helping to empower that kind of growth as well, which is awesome. So
it sends a great message to young Mandy or young Anna, down back in the day.
And I said, don't do it, but I would be the one with my arm around you, go, come on, I'll talk you through this.
You'd make
sense. It's really about backing yourself, having belief in yourself.
Yep.
Which
you must have had a lot of to get to where you got to today.
Suck it and see.
Suck it and see. Okay.
Lots of learning.
Yeah. And like we've touched on before we wrap up, I mean, you're learning all the time.
Totally.
Yeah. And you're passing that knowledge on to us, and we're learning. And so, like it's not like you go and get your marketing degree or whatever, and then you cover in and you know everything.
Absolutely.
We're still learning.
Yeah. And also leaning on, and it's not just about my ideas. Like everyone here has ideas and stuff, and everyone brings a different angle. And we had young Ben, and we had the younger ones coming through. So what are the younger ones telling us? And we've got to learn from all of that. Otherwise, we'll get too old.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And so you got to keep up with that.
Like TikTok.
Bring it on. Not dancing.
No. Neither, actually. There's some things I even draw a line at.
It's how many drinks we can get.
Yeah, true. Well, thanks, Mandy. It's really good to get an insight into you and Smokeylemon and how it was all born and the zest you're still producing today.
Thanks, Anna. It's an absolute pleasure to be speaking with you today.
Stop it. But before we let you go, I'm just going to do some quick fire questions, like some fun rapid questions. So, the weirdest assumption someone's made about the name Smokeylemon.
Probably that it is a cafe. I would say is probably so. Yeah, or it's funny that we're on this corner and people still don't know that we're here.
Yeah,
or what even Smokeylemon is. So it's a lesson in marketing right there.
It's ironic.
It is. So yeah, nothing too weird.
Yeah. Okay. If Smokeylemon was a cocktail, what would be in it?
Limoncello.
Yes.
Would probably be like margarita or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could use Juno limoncello because then it's local. Yeah.
Maybe a bit of coconut.
Oh, yeah.
And a bit of an iron seal.
So a bit of Malibu.
Yeah, bit of Malibu. Like as long as it tastes good.
Yeah, exactly. One word to describe your leadership style. We should ask you something else.
Yeah, you should be asked if I ask that. Wait, she's a leader. That's probably what she says.
Yeah.
Pretty relaxed.
Yeah.
We say here we've got no HR. Probably shouldn't say that. But I think if we follow just a common sense approach to things and everyone understands the goals, then no one needs to be leading.
Yeah. Well, we kind of look to you for it. Yeah.
Mandy, I'm Mandy. I'm Mandy. Excuse me, Mandy.
And Mandy gets that all day. My word to describe you would be nurturing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Nice.
Yeah. I think it's cool, and you've brought in a few new people, and I see that, and it is. Yeah,
cool.
You're a nurturer.
Thanks, Anna.
You're welcome. If you could swap jobs with anyone for a day.
For one day?
For one day.
I would be, I'd manage West Ham United football team for a day, as they'd have to play a lower level team so that they would win.
Yes, yeah.
But how good would that be?
Oh, how good.
That'd be amazing.
Would you Ted Lasso them? Yeah.
100%.
All those leadership things.
Believe.
Yeah. You can't see it in here, but above our door we have the Believe sign because we are big Ted Lasso fans. And they're goldfish. Okay, and finally, one business tool that you can't live without.
Probably, sometimes I'd like to live without it, but my phone.
Yeah. Goes with you everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah, I think pretty much you can do just about everything on it now, except for when you drop it and the screen breaks.
Yes, so good. Yeah. But you think and you think like 23 years ago when you started, we would have had like an old Nokia, a little brick.
Yes, or a BlackBerry even.
Oh,
yeah.
flash.
Yeah, no,
Oh.
I'd market there.
Yeah.
But the thing about a phone is, and this is kind of also what gets people through, is so many people can hide behind emails and texting or whatever. The value for anyone is to pick up phone and speak to someone, and then you get things happening. So there's a good understanding of requirements or what people are thinking and that.
And I noticed you do that. You'll instead of firing an email, you pick up the phone and call, and encourage us to do the same.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Important.
Okay, so cats or dogs?
Oh, cats. If I had to.
You do have a cute Elizabeth
didn't have Molly.
Munchkin.
Molly was great.
I had Molly, the office. What was she? Our marketing manager.
She was marketing manager. Yeah, she won't be replaced.
No. Beach or bush?
Beach.
I was gonna say swimming, fishing questions, but you don't like biting your own hooks.
Like fishing though.
Yeah.
Fancy fishing.
Yeah. Favorite takeaway?
Oh, favorite takeaway. Actually, don't know on that one. Probably Thai, maybe. Yeah. Something with a bit of spice.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Do you like a good fish taco?
I do like a good fish taco. I'm not gonna lie. With the margarita beside it.
So let's make heavy branding. Yeah. Fantastic. All right, Mans. Well, you're a busy wahine, so we'll let you get back to work. But thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Nailed it.
Yes, Jack.
That is episode 1 of our podcast, Lemon Drops with the Big Cheese, Mandy McGregor. Cool. Sweet. I think it was better than the first time.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.